Right. And Akanksha, please stay with us because given the fact that Iran has now also declared a full-scale war in the region, this also comes amid the pressure that's emanating from Iran, especially after the strikes from the United States. We're talking about another theater of conflict amid the escalating war between Russia and Ukraine. The mayor of Moscow has now claimed to have intercepted a UAV heading towards the capital city of Russia. The forces have intercepted a UAV, is what the mayor of Moscow has put out. This is information that's coming out of Russia, where an unidentified aerial vehicle has been intercepted by the forces over the Russian capital. And I'm joined by my colleague Akanksha Swaroop, who continues to be with us on the broadcast. So Akanksha, clearly, as we talk about Trump's continuous efforts to achieve that ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, the fact that Ukraine is armed with such technology that can launch these kind of devices towards the capital city of Russia, it throws a spanner then in any form of a ceasefire between the two sides, given the fact that the tech battles are only escalating and Russia's war machine is only trying to expand its presence inside Ukraine.
Right. And more importantly, remember, there is no admission coming in from the Ukrainian side. In fact, the first biggest attack was last night when we all woke up to the news that there was a coordinated attack of 91 UAVs directed towards one of Vladimir Putin's residents, and the Kremlin was completely shaken up. In fact, the U.S. president was personally briefed by the Russian counterpart himself, something that he declared soon after his meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And he also expressed his anger by, in fact, saying that he was relieved he had not sent any Tomahawk or sold any Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine. And so there was an assumption over here that it is Ukraine which is responsible soon after the Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov made that announcement. Yet there was a quick denial offered by the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on X. Apart from that, the Foreign Minister from Ukraine has also questioned if Russia or the Kremlin have any evidence to back these claims. And you can expect the same rhetoric or narrative to play out now that yet another UAV has been intercepted by Russia towards Moscow, as the mayor has announced. Remember, Zelensky has called it fabricated lies by Russia. They are, in fact, accusing Russia of derailing the ongoing peace efforts because, remember, it's an attack that has taken place just a day after the U.S. president actually held talks which seemed to be ending on a very optimistic note with the Ukrainian president. It was also being shared that the U.S. president has pitched a proposal for the European allies to meet up again in Washington in 2026. Donbass happens to be a key critical bone of contention, as is also the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. And so critics from both ends are saying that Zelensky is right now standing on shaky ground, given the corruption charges, given the impending election, which he's being questioned for, the lack of democracy in the country. So all of these charges are currently being used by Russia to, in fact, place Zelensky in the dock. They claim that these are attacks being conducted by the Ukrainian president.
Right. But at the same time, given the fact that Ukraine has targeted Moscow in the past as well, Akanksha, there are also reports coming in that there could be signs of a factionalism within the Russian Federation with Vladimir Putin on the hit list. Could there be some truth to those reports which are also coming in? Because we've seen it happen in the past ever since the war between Russia and Ukraine was started, that there were certain military factions which opposed the Russian Federation themselves.
Absolutely. But right now, there is no evidence, in fact, backing either of the claims. If Ukraine has not done it, they ought to prove that they have not done it. If Russia claims that Ukraine has done it, then they ought to claim this through evidence again. 91 UAVs being intercepted is no ordinary joke, Ayushman. And for Russia to make that claim, they will have to back it with evidence. It's certainly given more ammunition to the Ukrainian establishment for sure, who have even gone on to attack the allies that have stepped out in support of Russia. As we speak, India is one of them, as is Pakistan and UAE. In the latest, what we are learning is that the Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has also had a telephonic conversation with the Russian President to, in fact, share his concerns. And so this entire attack, or say the two attacks, have already divided the world sharply. Whether this was clearly an attack meant to target the Russian president is still not clear, because it wasn't even clear if the Russian president was inside the residence, which part of the Kremlin was attacked. As you rightly highlighted, it's not a first, because we've seen a similar attack, in fact, play out years ago as well, soon after Russia waged that war against Ukraine. But Ukraine has been very vocal about how the allies to Russia also need to stand in solidarity with Ukraine, because Ukraine too, in fact, its government establishments were attacked. One of the buildings was attacked in September this year, and many of them have asked, why wasn't India, Pakistan, or say UAE as vocal when a Ukrainian government building was attacked in September?
Right. Thank you, Akanksha, for getting us those details. So clearly, it seems that any push towards a ceasefire becomes problematic, given the fact that these hostilities are continuing, not just on the front lines, but in the hearts of both nations, with the UAV now intercepted above Moscow. Thank you, Akanksha, for getting us those updates.